Hey YouTube, Free California here, and today we're going to be doing a quick unboxing and first impressions video on my brand new Vortex Diamondback HP 4-16 by 42 millimeter rifle scope. So let's go ahead and move over to the unboxing table and get this thing kicked off. Okay, before we actually open up the box here, I was just going to show you that outside of the box so you can kind of get an idea of what this thing looked like once you got it out of the packaging. And so I actually ended up getting my scope through Amazon. When I bought it, I got it for $312, and I just checked the price today and it's at about $325. So it has gone up a couple bucks, but if you're willing to wait and this is something you're looking at, it'll come back down eventually. I would just keep an eye on it. Okay, so really quick, just a little bit about this scope. Like I was telling you right in the intro, it is a 4-16 power, has a 42 millimeter objective lens. I got the model with the dead hold BDC reticle, and this has a 1-inch tube, and there's several other scopes out there that have the 30 millimeter tube that are within this rough price range. I went with this 1-inch tube specifically because I have a nice set of 1-inch rings that the rifle that this scope's going on originally had a 1-inch tube scope, but they got screwed up. It was just a super cheap scope, and so this is kind of an upgrade, but I didn't want to have to buy new rings as well, so I just went ahead and went with a 1-inch tube. So let's go ahead and open this box up, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the scope. Okay, so you open the box up here, and immediately you can see the instruction manual, the rifle scope, the 4-inch shroud that goes on the front of the scope. Go ahead and pull out the scope here, and then we got our shroud container or foam with shroud in it, and then appears to be a cleaning cloth. So let's go ahead and start here with the manuals. So let's go ahead and pull these out. So there's two manuals here. Well, let's see, one of them is on the actual rifle scope, and the other is just on the reticle itself, giving you instructions on how to use that particular dead hold BDC reticle. So that's that. Let's get an empty bag to put over here. And then we'll go ahead and open up our cleaning cloth. It says Vortex on it. Trying to get this focused in here a little bit better. And then click it into manual mode so it doesn't change on me all the time. So I'm moving things in and out here. So it's a nice little cleaning cloth. Nice quality, I would think. Then we'll go ahead and pull out our 4-inch shroud here. And so this will go on to the front of the scope. It'll thread on. It's kind of I believe it's a sunshade is the actual term for it. But it really does make the scope look cool if nothing else. And then let's go ahead and pull the scope out here. So we have some literature recommending that we use a inch-pound torque screwdriver so that we can properly mount our scope and not damage it. Okay, so here we have our scope. It comes with a set of scope caps My old scope had the, I believe they're Butler Creek flip up caps front and rear, and so I'm not sure exactly what size they are, but I want to see if they'll fit on this scope so I can move them over. I always have liked those. Just makes it easy to just get the quick positive flip, and you don't have to worry about losing them or holding on to these guys. But so these lenses are, I believe they call it XR. Let's see, yeah, XR multi-coated lenses, and they also have the XD lens elements. So basically it's supposed to give you a sharper, crisper image. And this scope's also argon gas purged, so it should hypothetically be dust and fog proof. So right here we have our quick focus adjust here for the eyepiece. The scope has a 4-inch eye relief. And then here we have our side parallax adjust, which is really cool. The scope that I had before had the front parallax adjustment, and so it's just a little bit more cumbersome to try and get up and change the distance if you're shooting at varied ranges, where with this one, comfortably from behind the rifle scope, you can just go ahead and adjust for whatever range you will be shooting at. So then here, under our turret caps, we have 1/4 MOA adjustable turrets. I'll put it up here close to the microphone, see if you can hear that. But they're very positive clicks, easy to tell when you've gone a click, so it kind of takes the mystery out of it. And then it's 14, I believe, yeah, let's see, 14 MOA per full revolution of your actual turrets here. And then I believe they are also 0 resettable. So once you actually dial your scope in, you know, let's say hypothetically you had to go up 6 MOA right out of the box to sight in your rifle, then if that was where your 0 was at let's say 100 yards, then I believe you could loosen this top cap, pop this up, and then reset it back to 0, pop it back down, tighten this up, and by doing that, it'll be easy for you to actually make MOA adjustments when you're out shooting, because you're not going to be starting out at 6 and then have to remember that when you want to go back to your 0 that to go to 6. So you just be going back to 0. So that'll make it real nice and easy for you. So then here is where we actually adjust the power of the scope, 4 to 16 like I said before. It's pretty easy to rotate through, but it's still nice and firm, so I don't feel like you ever have any issues thinking that, you know, you're gonna just give it a light bump and then all of a sudden you're gonna be on a different magnification, which in a first focal plane scope is not really a big deal, is if you're using your reticle for ranging or wanting to shoot at different distances and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't matter in a first focal plane, but this being on the lower end of the price scale is a second focal plane scope. So in order to actually use that dead hold BDC, you need to both sight it in and use it in full power for it to actually be accurate when you're doing your distance shooting. And I don't know if you'll really be able to see this reticle here. try and show you guys if I can. It's kind of hard to do from the side of the camera here. But anyways, when I do an actual review on this scope, I will set it up on the rifle and I'll make sure we get some really cool through the scope video clips, maybe even try and take a couple shots if we can. So that way you can see, you know, what the reticle looks like and everything like that. As far as the sunshade here, we'll just go ahead and put it right there. And this is actually a lot easier to do when you're not off the side. Let me just get it started here. Sunshades are pretty cool. They add a cool element to the scope. Okay, there we go. So they add a cool looking element to the scope, just to make your scope look bigger. But it actually does provide you some nice shading. The sun's facing towards the front side of your scope. So anyways, I'm pretty pleased just messing with this here for a couple minutes. It really is a heavier scope for, you know, what it is. It's 18 ounces actually, so I don't know exactly what my old scope was, but I can tell you that it was much lighter. But this is probably, I paid probably about 3 or 4 times as much for this scope. So I'd also venture to say that somewhere along the lines of 3 or 4 times the quality. Plus, the thing I love about the Vortex scope is that you have that unconditional lifetime warranty. And in my opinion, that's probably more important than most other aspects. Because if you really think about it, I can take this scope right now and I could throw this out the window, run it over with my car, and send it back in and say, hey, I want a new one. And they'll provide that. They'll either replace it or repair it for free. Not that I would ever do that to something that I spent money on, but it's nice to know that I don't have to worry about the long term. Taking the scope out when I'm going hunting or shooting, or if someone drops my rifle, it's not going to be a huge issue where, oh, I'm out $400 because I went with a scope company that doesn't have such a good warranty. So I think it's worth it. Personally, I know there's other people who will, steer you towards other scopes. For me, the warranty is a huge factor, and really so far the quality, I'm pretty pleased with it. And in the future, I'm going to do a review on this scope. It's going to be going on my custom Mosin build that you'll be actually seeing that rifle coming up here pretty soon. So I think that about covers the scope here. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to ask down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to take this time to remind you that if you are interested in a free California sticker, just let me know down in the comments. The only requirement is you have to subscribe to the channel, and then after that, just contact me in the comments, and you can either give me your email address there, or you can contact me on the Free California Facebook page. Send me a message with your address, and I will send you out a little stack of free stickers. So feel free to do that, but I would definitely like to ask you, even if you don't want the stickers, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos if you like them, and definitely feel free to join the comments and let me know what you guys think. That's how this channel is going to get better, is by getting feedback from you guys, the viewers, and improving from there. So at this point, I'd just like to let you guys know I'm really excited to test out this scope in the future, and I'm really looking forward to several of the upcoming videos I have doing product reviews and testing stuff out with some companies that I've been working with a little bit. And I really hope you guys will stick around to see what those finished products look like. It's going to be pretty cool. So at this point, I would like to say God bless America. Long live the Constitution. And thanks for watching.